So here's something you guys need to know about me. I'm actually pretty easy to get along with. I think I don't have a lot of preferences that I try to insert into every single scenario. I'm pretty much up for anything. I believe that if something is meant to happen to me, it will. If it's not meant to happen to me, it won't. And trying to force it or not force it, it just always ends up making things harder. So generally, I'm pretty easy to get along with until you wrong me or you wrong my friends. Because, and it's almost like my friends are actually worse. Like I will come out and be the biggest protective mama bear you have ever seen in your life if you come after my friends, especially if you're lying about them, especially if you're doing them dirty. So I don't know Brandon Tatum. I had never watched his stuff before. I knew of him, but I never watched any of his stuff. It just didn't have any particular interest to me. So my first impression of Brandon Tatum was him posting a video lying about me because he didn't do a proper fact check and frankly didn't even pay full attention to the thing he was responding to because it actually had a thing on it that said those weren't my views. And that's what I have to work with. That's what I have to work with. And so he has issued an apology, which I want to give him credit for. I want to start by giving him credit for issuing the apology to me because that's what he should have done. And I don't know why it's so surprising that someone would actually issue an apology when they're wrong, but I do have to give him credit for that. It takes a man to do that. And so I have not watched the apology yet. I wanted to do a reaction video to the apology because I've heard things about it. And I looked through the comments and I was not happy with stuff I saw in the comments. But that's neither here nor there. I'm going to do a reaction video to Brandon Tatum's apology to me. But I'm also going to give you guys a little bit more context because yesterday, after I had posted my video, but before Brandon had taken the video down and done his apology, I was made aware of this video that he did on January 25th, 21, so about a month ago, in which he is lying about a friend of mine. And so I want you guys to have the context that I'm going in with to this apology video. Let's just watch a few minutes of this live stream.
Brandon Straka has been arrested by FBI, and they're a way to help him with his legal cause ? He helped wake up a lot of people and need our help. Hey, you on your own. If you want to support Brandon Straka, I don't have a good relationship with Brandon Straka. I think he's a fraudulent person. I think he did all that he did for the money, but that's not my thing. I seen text messages that he sent Candace.
He's basically calling Brandon Straka grifter. Let's keep going.
Disrespectful text messages he's been sending after people. I don't support him. I have nothing to do with what happened to Brandon Straka. But if you guys have been impacted by Brandon Straka and you think he's a great guy, then feel free, go and search out his stuff and go and support him. But for me, I don't support Brandon Straka at all. He's a fraudulent person.
Now, it is fine to not support someone. It's fine not to support someone. What's not fine to do is to go on the internet and to call them a fraudulent person to 1.43 million followers. Let's keep going.
There's some people that you may not know of that are frauds. Behind the scenes, I know, but
that is true. That is absolutely true. That there are people who are frauds behind the scenes. However, Brandon Straka is not one of those people. Let's keep going.
In front of the scenes, people don't know. And I don't normally say it because I don't want to get people all in their feelings. Brandon Straka may have changed your life. Don't worry about him being a fraud. If he changed your life, go support him. But for me, I know too much. Like I can't support people like him. He's a complete fraud. He's doing like a lot of stuff. I believe he's doing it for money, fame, and power. That's what he's doing. And some of these people are so good at it that they'll be able to grift you, and you won't even know it happened because they put a face on and make it seem like they really care. And then when you catch them behind the scenes, they don't really care.
All right. Let me tell you guys something. I traveled, for those of you who don't know, I traveled with Brandon Straka and the Walkaway campaign for June, July, August, September, October, November, December, into January, doing rallies all over the country to protest the lockdowns and to try to do everything we could to get people to walk away from the Democratic Party and hopefully support Donald Trump in the election. I did this almost every single weekend I spent with Brandon Straka. Let me tell you what Brandon Straka does in his downtime. He works. He works. It's all he does. There are so many times where, like, we would try to get him to come out and he didn't want to because he wanted to stay in and work, or he had to stay in and do a project. There was this one time we were in Omaha, and this was a week before. This was like like October 28th. And by the way, I want to say a quick disclaimer. So I know that you guys are, before I start really going off on this, I know that a lot of you are asking about Brandon. He is fine. There's nothing I can say because it's just like he can't speak out right now because of what's going on. He did post a message on Facebook, on his Facebook page the other day, just a little update to everyone. I strongly encourage everyone to go watch that. But many of you, well, not many, some of you have reached out to me basically insinuating that I don't have Brandon's back because I'm not talking about him all the time. I'm not talking about him all the time because there's nothing I can say. Like, I don't work for Walkaway. I don't work for Brandon. I'm only speaking for myself with this video, but really, like, there's nothing I can say right now. But if you don't think I have Brandon Straka's back, this is a video you're going to want to watch because I will never, ever, ever, ever turn my back on Brandon Straka. When I originally got pushed out into the spotlight, you know who was the very first person to reach out to me? Brandon Straka. Brandon Tatum says Brandon Straka doesn't care. I'm sorry. That is not my experience. He was the very first person to reach out to me when I was a no one that had a bomb dropped in the middle of my life. That was Brandon Straka. Okay? Brandon Straka was the one that invited me to do rallies all over the country, gave me an unbelievable experience. Brandon Straka has taught me so much about how to get this stuff done, about how to fight back. So let me go back to the story that I was telling. So we were in Omaha. We did a rally in Omaha. It was like the end of October. It was like a week or so. It was a little over a week before the election. It was actually supposed to be the last rally of the little Walkaway Rescue America tour, and then they ended up adding Pittsburgh and Atlanta right before the election. Anyway, so we were in Omaha. We had done a great rally. We went to a gay bar that night. We went to the gay bar that Brandon had gone to when he was younger. That's where he used to live, and we just hung out, and he kind of showed us around, and he reminisced a little bit. So Brandon Tatum wants to talk about how people doing this are only out to make money and then they're doing all this stuff behind the scenes. Do you know what Brandon Straka wanted to talk about when we were at a gay bar in his hometown? He wanted to talk about Trump. That's literally what we sat around the table doing, is we sat around the table. All of us had a couple drink. Brandon did not drink at all. I have never seen Brandon Straka drink because he doesn't. He's sober and he, works very hard at that. And so we sat around the table and literally talked about Trump for the entire time that we were at the gay bar. And then we got up and left. He wasn't partying. He wasn't hitting on cute boys. He was concerned solely about Donald Trump. That was all he wanted to talk about. Okay? So don't tell me that Brandon Straka is a fraudulent person doing this for fraudulent reasons. The fact of the matter is that it's completely untrue. You know what Brandon Straka did after the election? He went to Georgia for an entire month. He basically moved to Georgia so he could have the task of knocking on doors and organizing volunteers. Him and Scott Presler are the two people that have done more for the conservative movement in terms of actually organizing and trying to make things happen than any other people on the planet. Brandon Straka and Scott Presler. Brandon did not have to pick up his life and move to Georgia for a month to campaign for Senate candidates that, frankly, he didn't even like. So don't tell me he's doing this for money and power and glory. And here's the question I have, and this is a question that I had throughout our little Rescue America tour. Walkaway, we're the only people out doing events. We were the only people doing events. Blexit did one event, and it was at the White House, and it was heavily choreographed, and I'm sure everyone had a great time, but they did one event at the White House. Where were they? Where were they? Where was Turning Point? Why was no one else out there. Like, we were walk away. We went to Baltimore, Philadelphia, Los Angeles, Nashville, Dallas, Tampa, Florida, Sarasota, Florida. They did an event in Fort Lauderdale. We went to Phoenix. We were in DC. Where was everyone else? So you want to know who the real grifters are? You want to know who the real fraudulent people are? Is the people that sit on the internet and call the people that are actually out there doing the work grifters. Those are who your grifters are. That's who they are. That's who they are. You know, James Lindsay has the ironclad law of woke projection, where he basically says, like, the woke are always going to project, right? Well, I have the ironclad law of grifter projection. Anytime someone is accusing someone else of being a grifter or a fraudulent person, it's either because they themselves are grifting or they wish they were grifting. You can make your judgments here about what this is. Now, he then goes on to talk about, I'm not going to watch the full tirade that he goes into, but he goes on to talk about how Brandon scheduled an event in DC that was around their event so he could poach their attendance. Brandon's event was already scheduled. It was already scheduled. It was already on the calendar. And even if it wasn't, who the hell cares? You should be acting like you are on the same damn team. So, that's what I have to say about that. You guys think I abandoned Brandon Straka? I would never abandon Brandon Straka. And so now let's watch Brandon Tatum's apology video to me, shall we? And I will do a real reaction. And I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Well, as much as I can, considering he lied about my friend and called him a fraudulent person. But I'm going to keep an open mind, and we're going to see what's what. Let's take a look.
I admit it. I was wrong. This video is brought to you by The Officer Tatum Store. The Officer Tatum Store. Get the merch link in the description section. Also, in the description section, visit beatenblackandblue.com, beatenblackandblue.com to get my brand new book. Let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, I want to start this video out. It don't need to take much time to say this. I was wrong. I apologize to the young lady, Carlin Borsenko. I think I'm saying her name right, because
he did in fact say my name correctly, so he gets big points for that. And I have to say too, like, you know, just to start off the video saying like I'm wrong, I apologize. I respect that.
I looked at a video and got duped into believing something without looking at it within full context. And I just want to say I'm sorry. Now, here let me preface this, and I want to say it in a full spectrum. I think that it is irresponsible to do what I did by looking at this little clip of this young lady. I did not know who she was, never heard of her before, and so I clearly didn't know that she was a conservative or anything of that nature.
I'm not a conservative. I know a lot of people in the comments were saying that I'm a conservative. I'm not a conservative. I'm a liberal. I'm a centrist, and I guess I would probably classify myself as an American first populist as well. But I use liberal in the classical sense of the word. I don't consider myself a conservative, even though I play with the conservatives. Because I feel like my values are most aligned there right now, but there are also values that conservatives hold that I do not agree with. Particularly when it comes to the religious conservatives, there's a lot of stuff that I don't agree with there. So, and I understand what he's saying, that because a lot of people in the comments were saying, yo, she's a conservative. That's just, I'm not a conservative. I am a centrist at absolute best.
Nature. And so I made comments about somebody I didn't know. And I apologize for that. But I wanted to be known that it wasn't a video targeting the young lady, because I had no idea who she was.
Dude, you've got 1.43 million followers. Do you think that if you make a video targeting them, that they aren't going to figure out, like, even if you feature someone in their video, you think that people aren't going to figure out who it is, especially when it's a literal, like, Fox News clip that anyone can look up? This is what really bothers me about, like, sometimes, like, the irresponsibility of YouTubers, because they don't think about these things. My life has had havoc wreaked on it in the last 2 days because of this video, not just because of him, and frankly, not primarily because of him, because I think a lot of his audience knows who I am. But the other idiots that clipped this video, I cannot even begin to explain to you guys the nightmare that my messages have become because of the idiots that clipped this video. And I know it's going to blow over and you're like, Carlin, ignore it. Carlin, ignore it. Carlin. Like, I tried to ignore it. I ignored it for the whole first day. I was like, I saw the clip on the first day went up. I was like, oh, well, that's stupid. Like, whatever. And then it kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And I know it's going to blow over. I know it's going to stop. But to be quite frank, this is incredibly disruptive and it's ridiculous and it's unnecessary. I just don't understand this. And this is not necessarily reflected at him right now. I don't understand why you people insist on running clickbait accounts. Like, is this the only purpose you can have in life, is to try to cut things out of context to make other people look stupid? Is that going to create a fulfilling life for you? I don't get it, man. I don't.
And it's nothing against you personally, young lady. I want you to know that. It's nothing against you personally. I support what you do. I think you've made a tremendous amount of progress in the movement now that I know who you are now. Kudos to you. And I want to look at this as if you were my little sister. And people have been coming out and attacking you for someone taking your video out of context.
I don't know how I feel about him calling me his little sister, to be honest. Like, I'm a 40-year-old woman. So, I mean, that's fine. Like, I do believe at this point that he is coming from a genuine place. I do believe that. So I'm going to give him that credit.
And boxing it up and pretty much sending it out and fooling a whole bunch of people that I know, and even myself included. But don't let this destroy what you've done. Don't take these things personal. People are going to say things about you and they're going to be wrong. And at the end of the day, you be who you are. Don't let it damage your character and make you act out of character. I know it's frustrating.
I feel like I'm being lectured to right now by someone that lied about me on the internet. So do I take any of this stuff personally? No, I don't. It is very frustrating to me when this crap happens and it becomes a complete goddamn distraction from everything that I'm trying to accomplish. Do I allow insane people on the internet to define who I am? Absolutely not. But there will reach the point, guys, where if this crap, like, I'll just bow out. I never wanted to be on the internet. I never wanted to do any of this. Like, a lot of you have told me to run for office, and it is something I'm thinking about. But the thing of it is like, it's so disruptive to your life. And I know that if I did, this stuff would just happen over and over and over again. And it's like, when it happens from the right, that's when it really pisses me off. Because why is everyone screaming at me to, like, run for office, when you guys are the ones attacking me? Like, I'm not, right now, this is the God's honest truth, guys. Right now, I'm not getting attacked from the left. I was able to, like, over the course of several cancellations, figure out how to cancel-proof my life where I'm not really getting attacked by them right now. The only place that I'm getting attacked by is the right. And now you're going to say, Carl, those are fake leftists. Haven't you learned that they're not fake left? Or they're not, dude. They're not. They're not secret leftists. No, they're not. But no, I mean, I don't take any of this stuff personally. It's a giant distraction. It's completely unnecessary. And frankly, like, no one should have to deal with this. And if I have to eventually choose between, like, fighting back and, like, spending all my time and energy and killing myself to do this when I'm just going to get attacked by the right anyway, like, why? Why would I? Like, why would I want to continue this? There's a reason that a lot of people don't last doing this crap, because it's goddamn annoying. And it's like, I could just go do something else, man. I'll tell you what, like, there are people that do this stuff because they want to be internet famous, right? I never did. It just happened. And not to say I'm famous, 'cause I'm not, but more well known than, like, many, many other people out there. At some point, it's like, there's reasons I never wanted to do something like this, right? And at some point you have to ask, is this particular fight worth it in this way? I don't know. Let's keep going.
But from the bottom of my heart, sincerely, I want to apologize to you, because I know that you felt offended. I watched your video. You felt offended by some of the things that I said, and I believe you took it personal, as if I want.
You said my parents should get thrown in jail, Brandon. You called me crazy, dude. So you can say it's not personal all you like, but, like, you brought my family into it, dude. You did. And again, I'm appreciating his apology right now, but it's like, what he's doing is it's like, oh, I'm sorry, but, oh, I'm sorry, but, like, I think he's genuine, but if you're going to apologize to someone, like, take responsibility, man. Take responsibility.
I was attacking you, and I was not attacking you. I don't.
You have 1.43 million followers, Brandon. You know that if you make a video attacking someone, your followers are going to attack them, and it's going to be 10 times worse from the followers than it is from you. You know that. You've been playing this game for a while. You knew what was going to happen. Maybe you're just so used to it that you didn't think about it. And I'm very lucky, by the way. And again, sorry. Again, like, I'm so lucky in that so many of his followers knew who I was and came to my defense in the comments. I'm so incredibly lucky about that, because it could have been a lot worse from that group if they hadn't known, right? But a lot of the other people I was attacked, they didn't know. They didn't. And it's like, you know what? It's such a monumental, unnecessary distraction.
I don't feel that you are an evil person. And I want to also address the fact that whoever, and let me say this, I don't think it started out with negative intentions. I mean, just personally speaking, I think that maybe somebody knew who Carlin was. They knew who she was, and they knew she was being facetious, and they put it out there as a funny meme. And then people who don't know who she was saw the way she looked, because she looked like a liberal. It doesn't, I mean, I'm just keeping it 100. She looked like a liberal.
All right, let's address this for a second. Because, guys, I'm so sick of this. I'm so sick. Like, you have stupid hair. You know, I was at a party last night, a party that I was invited to go to. And, you know, wearing my hair like this, and I was wearing all black because almost all the time I'm either wearing all black or I'm wearing a black top and jeans. It's like, that's my most common outfit. And so we get to this party that I was asked to come to because the host of the party wanted something from me. And I get there, and I have a guest with me, and we get there, and he's buttoned up, and, you know, he's looking sharp. And we get there, and almost immediately, this security guy targets me and comes up to me and gets right in my face and starts screaming at me. And I was like, what the hell is even going on? He's like, you're supposed to be here, show me your wristband. So I was like, showing lifted up my wrist and had the wrist, like, I can't see it. Like, and he, at the same time he did this, he grabbed my arm really tight. I was like, what the holy hell is happening? Like, I was asked to come to this. This happened within minutes of me walking into this party. I hadn't even said anything. You want to know why? I will bet you all the money in my bank account it's because of how I looked. Now, this has nothing to do with Brandon Tatum. The story I'm telling you right now is like a completely separate thing. I'm making a different point. So the host of the party came up to me like, oh, we're so sorry. You know, please don't be offended. He's just a security guy. Please don't be offended. I was like, fine. But I was like really shaken up by this incident. Like, you walk into a room when you're invited to be there, and like you're almost immediately accosted, and he actually like put hands on me and grabbed my arm, and I'm like really, really aggressively. Like, I'm sorry, what the hell? And so I stayed, and I was gonna, you know, they asked me to be there again. They invited me, and so I was there, and about 20 minutes later, the group, you know, they had been, you know, kind of, I think they were like watching me because they all knew who I was, and they're like, oh, do you want to come with us? And so I was like, okay, but like that security guard like needs to apologize to me. Like, I'm not going around that guy. That was ridiculous. Like, yeah. So we walked by. And the staff member was like, dude, apologize to her. And he was like, eh. And I said, and, you know, I made a flip comment. I said, you're forgiven for being a dick. You know what the security guy did at that point? Boom! Pushed back on my shoulder. And I screamed at him. I told him to fuck off. And I walked out of the party. And all of this happened because of how I look and the assumptions that people make based on a haircut and an outfit. That's why that happened. I am almost positive. That security guard, it was instant. Did he go after the guest that was with me that was wearing a jacket and a tie? No, he didn't. He went after the woman with the shaved head and the Doc Marten boots. That's who he went after. And again, this is not Brandon Tatum's fault, but this happens to me all the GD time. For the side that says, we are the big tent and we welcome everyone in. And then I'm ragged on constantly for my goddamn haircut. Like, you guys have got to stop. This is ridiculous. It is absolutely goddamn absurd to keep doing this stuff. Like, you have got to stop making assumptions about people based on the fact that they have a haircut that you don't like. It's so stupid.
And they took that and ran with it, and it began to go in a negative direction. And so I think that's my personal opinion. I think that's how it went. I don't think that it was Republicans trying to get her and get her trapped. I think somebody.
No. That's wrong. That's wrong. It was absolutely Republicans. I know every single site that I have seen this on where it started from were Republicans. Absolutely every single one of them. Every single one. So I disagree with him strongly on that.
Posted it in good faith, and it began to go sideways because of what it looked like and because of how it was memed. But I want everybody to know that video is a fraudulent video. She was being facetious on Fox News about 2 + 2 = 4 and all of the above, and that's not a representation of how she feels, and it's not a representation of a person who is believing that 2 + 2 should be 5 and that 2 + 2 is racist. Even though there's people out there that believe that, there's a movement last year that went on that consisted of the ideology of 2 + 2 can actually be 5, and that people are out there saying that everything under the earth is racist, but this is not the case. So I took the video down, and like I said at the beginning, I'm grown. You know, I got kids. It don't hurt me to apologize if I made a video and it was an error or it was incorrect. It doesn't hurt me at all. And I think that most people should feel the same way. If you made a video, if you did something and you find out later on that it was an error or whatever the case may be man enough, be woman enough, be responsible enough to go back and say, okay, this was wrong and I made a mistake. Or
I appreciate that about him. I have to give him points for that. I have to say, and again, like, this is the first time that I've ever actually even watched his content or anything that he's done. So I do think that it takes a man to apologize, and I do appreciate him doing that. I don't like the apologies, though, that are like, yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah. I mean, like, dude, like, I'm 40 years old. I don't need like lectures and life lessons. That's not to say I don't learn from people who are way smarter than me, but usually I'm inviting them to teach me something. So I'm not so much a fan of that, but the apology, I have to give him a lot of points for, and I will give him credit for.
Or I was tricked or duped or whatever explanation you want to give, but just go back and say that it was wrong. So just for everybody that follow me or whatever, that video about the young lady on Fox News saying 2 + 2 is 4.
Oh, hang on. My alarm's going off in the other room. Pause. That's what happens. That's what happens when we have an early morning video.
That was a complete fake video that somebody doctored up and put together. And I think that everybody that, if you follow me and you were part of the Tatum squad or something, and you looked at that video and found out her name, because I didn't know her name in the video, and you came and you said something derogatory to her, you were wrong. Go back and get in her comment section on her recent video that she made. Now, she said some harsh things about me. I understand her frustration. I'm not going to hold it to her heart. You know what I'm saying? I know she was upset. Go to her Instagram on this thing and say, Brandon Tatum, you owe me an apology, and go on there and make it right. And right on.
I appreciate that. I do. I have to say, I appreciate that. That's good. Not good that he lied about my friend, but I appreciate that.
On there. That you were sorry if you came out and said something crazy about her, knowing who she is, and you doxed her or whatever you call it. I don't think nobody doxed her, but you came out and found her on social media and decided to say something negative. This is a learning experience for everybody, in my personal opinion, and I think people need to be bold enough to say that. So, young lady, don't let this get you down. Don't take it personal. I apologize to you. I'm gonna write an apology right now while I'm on this video on your channel, and for everybody in the comment section that were evil and nasty to me. I don't care, because I'm grown, but you might want to reconsider being nasty to folks.
Dude, this is where you're losing me. Okay, you like if you want to apologize, just apologize. Just apologize. Brandon, you didn't fact check a video that literally had a disclaimer on it that said she does not have these views. That was your fault, dude. That was your fault. No one held a gun to your head and forced you to put a video lying about me on your YouTube channel. No one forced you to do that, man. Like, this is where apologies go wrong. When you're like, I'm sorry, it's sincere, and I'm like, I'm feeling it and I'm believing it, and then he's like, but you said mean things about me in the comments. Dude, you said my parents should be put in jail. Dude, like let's just be clear. Like, I don't hold resentment towards people, because that's completely unhealthy. And like that hurts me to hold resentment to people. Like, once this is over, like, I don't really care about Brandon Tatum anymore. Honestly, it's like I'm not gonna hang on to this, but this is not how you apologize. You don't complain that you don't lie about someone on the internet to 1.43 million people, get a whole metric F ton of comments saying that you were wrong, and then complain that you got comments when they wouldn't have happened if you hadn't put the dang video up in the first place, dude.
Just take it as if your boy got duped just like everybody else got duped on a video. And now that we've got it all figured out, we should be on one page. But anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Share this.
So that seems to be it. Okay, so here's what I think. And again, these two videos that we just showed is my absolute first and only impression of Brandon Tatum, other than like knowing his name and kind of like who he is. It seems to me that he jumps to conclusions. It seems to me that, let me start off with something good. Let me do the thing that I always told managers and workplaces never to do, which is to sandwich feedback, which is basically when you say something nice and then you say something shitty and then you say something nice. Like, I'm going to do the thing, and I always told managers, like, don't do that. If you have something nice to say, just say the nice thing. If you have a bad thing to say the bad thing. I'm going to sandwich this feedback right now. I think that Brandon Tatum, it takes a man to make a video like this. It takes a man to do that. So I'm going to give him points for that. He did say that he was wrong. He did apologize. He did try to, really articulate to his followers that he was in the wrong and that they were in the wrong if they came after me. And I have great, great, great appreciation for that. However, I think he is someone that jumps to conclusions based on something happening that he didn't like, and he's not thinking about it, and he's not looking into it. And I'm basing that not just on this scenario, but on this other video here, where he flat out lied about my friend. Brandon Straka is one of the most amazing human beings I've ever met. He is true. He believes in what he's doing. All he thinks about is walk away. He is not like... He is one of the few people that you need to worry about grifting. That is not why he's doing this. He doesn't even take a salary from Walkaway. Brandon doesn't even take a salary from Walkaway. Because he wants every bit that they fundraise to be put into Walkaway. So I'm not down with people lying about other people like this. Or for if you don't say, listen, I was on Adam's show the other night and Bryson Gray was brought up, and I just kept my mouth shut because if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. Honestly. And so I don't know why he even had to go on he went on a tirade in this video about Brandon. So I think that is completely unnecessary. It's I don't know what exactly his deal is. I just know that he insulted one of my friends who happens to be one of the hardest working people that I've ever met. And that is not okay with me. But, he did apologize. So now we're sandwiching the feedback. I said the bad thing. I said the good thing. I said the bad thing. Now we're going to sandwich the feedback. He did apologize. I do appreciate the apology. Oh, I've got one more thing to say. His wife was also talking smack about me in the comments. So that's another thing that I didn't talk about in this video. So I have to say that I don't really take it all that seriously, to be honest. When he's saying something, maybe he's trying to save face. I don't know. But when the wife then comes in and backdoors that crap, like, she basically said like that I didn't reach out to them privately. I'm sorry. I'm under no obligation to reach out to you privately when you put a video of me like lying about me on the internet. B, I actually did reach out to them privately. I gave them hours to take this video down before I put up my in response to my apology video yesterday. So I did reach out to them privately. It was ineffective. It was not taken care of. And so here we are, because it was the only thing that was able to actually get results. But at the end of the day, listen, I don't believe in this culture of like just going at each other. Like, he's doing whatever it is he's doing that did not involve doing events for the entire back half of 2020 to try to rally people. I don't know exactly what that is, but he's doing something. Fine, whatever. I'm gonna do my thing. I've got a lot of stuff I need to work on in terms of like whistleblower stuff that's come forward since the Coke story, and I'm not gonna let this deter me from that. But I think the bigger lesson that I want everyone to have from this entire affair is that you guys have got to stop making assumptions about people. You've got to stop. And if any of you are cutting things out of context, you do more to hurt the movement than you do to help it. Like, there is absolutely no reason. You guys liked that Donald Trump was a fighter, right? You liked that Trump was a fighter. He stood up for you. He had your back. Guess what? When you do this crap to people, you drive people away. They go, I don't even know why I'm bothering. Like, why? This is the lesson that I'm trying to teach you guys. Not that I'm taking, like, you're just taking it so personally. No, I'm not taking it personally, dude. Like, I don't allow crazy people on the internet to define who I am. But you all need to understand that I want as many people fighting back against this as possible. And if you can't wrap your heads around the idea that when you do this crap to people, you push the good ones away, they go, why would I bother speaking up? Why would I bother speaking up if this is how I'm going to be treated? You guys do that to people when you push them away because of bullshit like this. So, hopefully this is the last I will hear of Brandon Tatum. And we will be able to go our separate ways and do our separate things. All of you said we're having we were going to be BFFs. Nah, we're not going to be BFFs. That's not going to happen. I think he's probably a good guy. I think he, based on what I've seen, doesn't always think about the things that he's saying and doesn't think about the things that he's doing. And I can say the same thing for his wife in the comments. So we're not going to be BFFs because I'm not BFFs with people who lie about my friends. And the people who have actually been there for me and the people who've actually had my back. So, but I do appreciate that he apologized. And it took a man to do that. And so I will give him points there. All right. I think that's all I've got to say about this. I'll catch you guys later.